Does it get any easier? A client of mine asked this question in a group coaching call recently, and my answer surprised him. The answer was no. But in a kind of sadistic way, it actually made him feel better. But it's true, it doesn't get any easier. Problems, challenges are a feature of life, not a bug. There will never be a time when our life and our business doesn't have problems and challenges. So stop wishing them away and get good at navigating them. Viktor Frankl said in Man's Search for Meaning, what man actually needs is not attention in a state, but rather the striving and struggling for a worthwhile goal, a freely chosen task. So the question to really ask is building a coaching business a worthwhile goal? Now, I'm guessing it is because you wouldn't be watching this otherwise. And I'm also guessing that no one is holding a gun to your head and forcing you to build a coaching business. So the uncomfortable news is you need to suck it up, my friend. If you want to build a coaching business, you've got to get good at problems and challenges. And in this video, I'm going to walk you through 10 ways to get good at problems and challenges and to build resilience so that you can do hard. And I believe you can do hard. And if you're new here and you're wondering, well, who am I to be speaking on this subject? Let me take you back to 4 years ago when I had just got my business to a place of product market fit after 4 to 5 years of blood, sweat and tears, paying myself basically zero salary, 4 years of honestly wanting to give up at times. I got to my business to a place of, right, we are now looking good, things are looking good, upward trend. At that point, COVID happened. My business was not primed for COVID. We did food delivery to big corporates, and my business was essentially wiped out by COVID in a matter of months. And it left me completely broken, on my knees, begging for a break. But I also was at a time when I couldn't take a break. My wife was about to go on maternity leave. We had no money in the bank. In fact, we just had debt. And I just had to dust myself off and go again. Now, in the last 3 to 4 years, it hasn't been plain sailing. There's been moments where I've wanted to give up. There's been moments I've wanted to run away. Again, there's been moments where I've been on my knees again, begging for a break. Now, I've come to a point now where I actually have learned to love the challenges because, as I said before, challenges are a feature of life, not a bug. And what I'm about to share with you are the principles that I live by and the principles that have helped me through these incredibly tough times. And I feel like I'm out of it now and I'm in a place of real flow and real power, and things are really starting to happen for me. And it's because of what I'm about to share with you, in particular, number one. So let's get stuck in. And number one is a principle that I live by, which is what you do on tough days determines what you do on extraordinary days. Now, this is a quote that I took from James Clear, and it is a quote that I really, truly live by, especially in those dark, tough days, because how we respond is one of the only things that we are truly in control of. And it is easy to respond positively when things are going our way, but when things are going against us, when we're hearing rejections and we don't feel like doing things, how we respond in those moments is what really adds up and stacks up over the long run to create the extraordinary days. And this is also where you build character, identity capital, and resilience. As I said, anyone can be consistent and disciplined and all in when times are going well, but can you be the person that turns up regardless of how you feel or the results that you're getting? And that is how to create success over the long run. For me, I've been waking up at 5 a.m. for the last 7 years. Now, when my alarm goes off at that time, I rarely want to wake up, but I know that when I do, it brings out the best in me. I get a lot done and I'm able to be more present with my family because of the progress that I've achieved before they wake up. And I know what I do in those tough moments is what allows me to really enjoy the extraordinary moments. Now, number two is very simple, and that is do less of what got me here and more of what got me there. Now, business and life is actually incredibly simple. We need to do more of the things that create a positive result and less of the things that create negative results. Now, the reason why this is simple but hard in actuality is that the things that are good for us in the long run are usually uncomfortable for us in the short run, and vice versa. So my invitation for you is, if you're currently at a peak and things are going well, write down everything that you're doing currently. This is essentially your momentum formula. And if you're in a valley of despair where nothing is going well and you're feeling really down, you're feeling really negative, again, write down everything you're currently doing and do the opposite. Now, number three, equally as simple, and that is dance. See, you could worry about your problems or you could dance. Neither will actually move you forward, but one's going to make you feel really negative and one's going to make you feel alive and really present. So for me, that's a total no-brainer. I also heard a quote the other day that said, worrying is praying for something bad to happen. Take that shizzle in. Number 4 is doing the opposite to what your mind is telling you to do. See, I use my emotions as a barometer for the quality of my thinking because my emotions feed my thoughts and my thoughts feed my emotions. So if I'm feeling unwanted emotions, say anxiety or worry, then I know that my thoughts cannot be trusted in that moment. And personally, I find it easier to notice the emotion that I'm in, how I'm feeling in that moment, than noticing my thoughts. So what I do when I'm feeling anxious or I'm feeling worried or I'm feeling unwanted emotions is I notice the thought and I literally do the opposite. So for me, that usually looks like anxiety or overwhelm, noticing my thought, which is usually saying, do more, work harder, hustle more. And I've now developed the muscle to literally just do the opposite. So I will close my laptop, I'll go for a walk, or I'll go for a skate, or I'll meditate, and I'll sit and do nothing. And what I'm always met with in that moment is clarity and inspiration or renewed energy. Whereas if I had just carried on working, I would have actually fed this emotion and not actually felt it. But if I carried on working instead, I actually would have kind of fed this motion and I would have got into this really vicious circle where my thoughts are more negative, that are feeling the emotions, that are feeling the thoughts, and I would have spiraled out of control. I'm sure you've been there. I certainly have. And how to break it is literally noticing how you feel. If it's unwanted, noticing your thoughts, and then doing the opposite. Again, super simple, hard in execution. But as you do this more and more, you're going to build the muscle and really develop evidence that your mind cannot be trusted when you're feeling unwanted emotions. Now, number 5 is a principle taken from Buddhism, and that is be the ocean, not the waves. Because when you're the waves, you're attached to the content of the situation. You're attached to your thoughts, you're attached to your emotions, and they become all-encompassing. They become absolutely in the entirety of your life. But the invitation is to zoom out, to separate yourself from the content of the situation, from the thoughts, from the emotions, from the circumstances. Because if you zoom out far enough, we are literally a speck. And one thing that I often think about is we are literally all turning to dust anyway. So why worry about these literally menial things? Yes, they may seem very real, and I'm not trying to downplay some hardships that you might be going through, but at the same time, I guarantee you that in 5, 10, 15, 20 years, you're not going to be worrying about the same thing. If you are, sure, it's something to think about, but when you zoom out and you can really separate yourself from the content of the situation, it becomes such a small thing in your life, and you can really see it for what it is. Now, this doesn't mean we don't acknowledge it, but it just doesn't become all-encompassing. See, an ocean still has ups and it still has downs, but it doesn't define the ocean. And number 6 is consciously doing hard things. Now, this is something I've been doing for years. Basically, once a week, I go dark. I take myself to a really dark place in the gym where my body and my mind are screaming for me to give up. My lungs are burning. My muscles are building with lactic. My mind is playing all sorts of tricks on me, saying things like, Joel, you're going to injure yourself. You're pushing yourself too hard. All very believable thoughts, but it's quite scary because in that moment, we've probably only reached around 20, 30% of our capacity. We have way more. And when you actually tap into that way more, it's actually quite frightening. So in that moment, I focus on the 4 controllables, something that I learned from a guy called Damian Brown, who rode across the Atlantic from west to east. And he says it's those moments that are your greatest opportunity to build mental fortitude and resilience. And these 4 controllables are the only things that you can really control in that moment. That is your breath, your effort, your body posture, and your self-talk. So in those moments when I literally everything is screaming at me, I focus on one of those 4. So I might be on the rowing machine and my mind's telling me, Joel, back off, give up. I'll start focusing on my breath. That might regulate myself more. After that, I might then focus on my effort. I'll start to coach myself. Okay, what we can do is we can get to this split, and this split's manageable, and I'll kind of coach myself through it. And the last thing I save to the end is my self-talk. And that's where I'm saying, like, Joel, you've got more, like 10 seconds left, 20 seconds left. Come on, last push. And when I regain control of the moment by focusing on those 4 controllables, I realize that my body always has more. But this isn't just about getting more physically fit. This is about developing mental resilience and fortitude so that when in life hard things happen, like a rejection, or that deal doesn't go through, or I have a big tax bill, I'm able to trust myself because I've developed the mental fortitude and resilience that will help me get through those tough moments. So my invitation to you is start with where you're at, but every week, do something hard, do something that scares you. It doesn't have to be in the gym, but do something that you feel frightened to do, and focus on the 4 controllables: your breath, your self-talk, your body posture, and your effort. When you focus on those 4 things, you'll actually get really present and focused and realize that you've got more to give. And number 7, so this is a quote that I got from Unleash the Power Within with Tony Robbins. And at the time, this quote didn't land. But in the last year, this quote has landed so deeply. And the quote is, life happens for you, not to you. See, when my business failed in COVID, at that time, I couldn't see beyond that. I was totally broken and I just wanted to give in, to be honest. But I look back at that now and I realized that was actually the best thing that could have happened to me. And since then, I really have seen there is a divine order of things. There is a natural law at play. And to think we are in control is a total illusion of the mind. And with that higher perspective, I can now know that's going to be true for the future. So when I fail, or when I am struggling, or when certain things don't go my way, I just know that this is happening for me. I also use this quote to integrate triggers. See, everything in life is showing you where you're at. Everything is a mirror. So if you're walking down the street and something triggers you, you can either project and blame and be the victim, or you can actually take responsibility for that trigger and look at it and be with it without judgment, without trying to fix it, and just unpack it, reflect on it. And in doing that, you will start to feel unfelt emotions. You will start to integrate these parts of you that haven't been healed, they haven't been felt. And for me, this looks like working with a coach and constantly reflecting and constantly noticing my triggers and sitting with them and being with them and moving them through my body. But all of this has come from this insight of life is happening for you, not to you. When you see life like this, you just see everything as a gift, everything as an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to become a better human. So I truly believe that life has a plan, and it is my goal to really surrender as much as I can into the arms of the universe. And in doing that, life has become so juicy and fruitful, and I have become incredibly relaxed and powerful in my being. And that is my invite to really let this land. Life is happening for you, not to you. Let go of being a victim and be the hero of your journey. Now, number 8 is a Stoic practice called negative visualization. And this is essentially where you imagine losing it all. The Stoics used to essentially go and live as poverty, to actually experience what it might be like to live all their wealth and abundance. And in doing that, they gain perspective. Now imagine losing everything, losing your loved ones, your friends, your money, your houses, your cars, your clothes, everything. It kind of puts things into perspective, right? Now think about that problem and challenge you're approached with. It doesn't seem so big. Whenever I'm stuck in my head, I will go to this place just for a split second. And what I then tend to do is run home or go and squeeze my wife and my kids so hard. And it just reminds me about what's truly important in this life. Relationships, loved ones, being present with them. Now, number 9 is getting beyond yourself. See, anytime that I'm perhaps feeling unwanted emotions or life isn't going my way, it's often because I'm taking myself too seriously, or I've just got stuck in my head, stuck in a story. And the antidote to this is getting out of myself, going beyond myself and being of service. Generosity is not only just a beautiful way to spread love into the world, but also it serves us because we are not separate to one another. So by being generous and giving, you're actually serving yourself. So this is a really, really powerful way to just kind of get beyond yourself. Now, number 10 and the final is embrace the mayhem. This is a phrase that I live by because life and business is actually wildly out of control. To think that you have any control is a total illusion. Now you think about it, the scale of the universe and how small we are in that. To think we have any control is actually maddening. And that for me actually fills me with real presence, and it allows me to just surrender and to let go. And it's in that surrender and letting go that life just gets really fun and beautiful and peaceful and relaxing. So my invitation is to just, as I said before, surrender to the outcome and go all in. That is the formula for a magical life. When you start to control things, that's when life just gets really tough and you're fighting with life rather than flowing with life. Now, there you go, the 10 ways that you can do hard and build resilience. And here's a little bonus one. Ask who, not how. There's a proverb that says, go fast, go alone, go far, go together. It's why I'll always be part of a community or a membership, because this journey of building a business, of entrepreneurship, of coaching is hard. It is lonely. So if you want to build a sustainable business and be in the long run, I would really encourage you to join and be part of a community. And that's also my invite to you. I have a free community where I run monthly group coaching calls, and there's a space for you to ask for help and to reach out, or come join the Elevated Coaching Collective. We're currently closed right now, but if you message me collective, I'll put you on the wait list. It's a community for heart-led coaches. And it's just the most beautiful community where we are all in this together. Really high quality coaches that are really winning, but also really vulnerable and supportive. So if you want to be a part of that, when we next open the doors, just message me collective and I'll let you know when we open doors. If you're not ready for that, that's totally cool. Around this page, there's other videos that will support you in growing your business and being more powerful in your coaching. Thank you so much for sticking around, sending you so much love, and have a beautiful rest of your day. Bye for now.